Lovely stuff. Thanks for joining me again, guys. You're back with OHMonster, and today I've got an RDA for you and a giveaway for you. So we've got the Doge X2 by Congrevape. Now this was sent on to me for the purpose of this review by vapo.co.nz. So to win this, I'll tell you how at the end of this video. So let's take a look at it, shall we? Alright guys, so here we are up close with the Competition Doge X2 by Congrevape. This is the newest Doge in the line at the moment. The last one was, there was the Doge, and then there was the Doge V2, and now there's the Doge X2. And we'll go a little bit more into that a bit later. So you've got your front cover here. Not a lot going on. It's a nice little comic on the back. And again, nice little comic-y stuff within here. Now I don't know whether these spelling errors were deliberate for comical value or not, but either way. So I'll put the mod to a side for now. And in here, as always, you get a nice little bag of goodies, as you do with sort of Congrevape stuff. So you get your O-rings in there. You've got stainless steel screws, as it does come stock with copper ones, and you've got a stainless steel center post. Again, the center post stock is copper, and you've got your nice replacement insulators in there. So you can pretty much replace everything on this mod, which is really nice. You don't generally get replacement insulators with Addies these days. So that's a nice addition. And of course, the old faithful blue. Okay, so here's the Doge X2. Now the main and only difference really between the Doge version 2 and the Doge X2 is these airflow holes. Now if any of you had the Doge V2, then you'll know it had a Cyclops type airflow hole. So it was literally just a strip across here which you could adjust. Where here you've got 18, I believe, airflow holes staggered, which if you turn the top cap, so the chuff cap, you can close off 3 of them. You can close them off one by one, which is great. So it starts off at the top, and then the bottom, middle, sorry, and then the bottom. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I like very adjustable airflow. And also the difference is this little cyclone hole is a millimeter wider. It was a 1 mil on the V2, and it's 2 mil on the X2. Now what this does is it just pulls air through the chuff cap to cool the vape and to keep the drip tip cool. And that's its only function really. So the only difference between this and the V2 is really the airflow. And that's it. And the chuff cap is a little bit different. Alright, so if we pull this chuff cap off, there's where your airflow adjustment comes in. Now this doesn't have the ability to run single coil. So this is a dual coil mod only, as the airflow doesn't allow for single coil. The Doge V2 did. And the Doge V2 cap fits on this. So, but if you've got a Doge V2 and you like the Doge V2, you're just going to use the Doge V2. Alright, so pop this out. That's nice laser engraving on there. There's a nice rough finish. And here's the build deck itself. It's lovely, chunky copper screws, 3 mil post holes, which for this are a bit extreme, to be honest, because the builds that you can actually fit in here don't require post holes to be that big, because as you'll notice, this is pretty thick. So when it sits over here, it takes up the majority of that outer lip. So you can really only build within the juice well. So yeah. But anyway, it's always nice to have massive post holes so you're not fiddling around. Now, it comes standard with the copper center positive post. You got your peak insulator down at the bottom there. Now in the kit bag, you can change these out to stainless steel screws, and you can change the center post out to a stainless steel center post if you're not too keen on copper. Because this copper, after it's had juice on for a while, does start to patina and such. So it's all down to personal preference. Now, here's the bottom. It's got nice kind of X-Men type font for for the X Doge, which is pretty cool. I like that. And your 510 pin protrudes nicely. So if you're wanting to use this on hybrid mods, you can just go ahead without having to adjust it, because this is not an adjustable 510. It's purely holding the center post in. All right. Now the center post is held in with a square base, so you cannot spin this center post, which is something I love. I hate center post spinning, so having that square seating is just ideal. So you can be rough as you like on this and it's not going to spin around for you. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to replace this center post with the stainless steel one. Alright guys, so all you're going to need for this is your flathead screwdriver and just a screwdriver small enough to fit through your post holes. Alright, so what we do to start with is we unscrew the 510 pin. Careful not to lose that. You do get a replacement, but obviously you don't want to be replacing it straight away. And then you take your post screw, center post screw out. Get your smaller screwdriver, slide it through that post hole and just pull. Alright, there's a little bit of resistance because of that peak insulator in there as well, so it sits nice and snug, and as you'll see there, a nice square seating, so it's not going to spin on you. Perfect. Alright, so then all you want to do is grab your new center post and the other peak insulator, because you might as well keep that peak insulator on there, other one, because it sits nice and snug. Just pop that on there. Alright, and again you want to take that post screw off. Now with this center post, replacement center post, I don't know if it's just an off with mine, but the center post here, sorry, the post itself, the post hole itself is not 3mm, it's a lot smaller, so I've had to get a smaller screwdriver for that one. So I'm not sure if that was just a design flaw with this one or whether we're going to get that across the board or not. But then all you do is obviously line that square up with the square on the center post and just push it down with your screwdriver. So just get both sides, just support it and click it in. Obviously it's not going to spin around on you because it's a square post seating, but yeah, that's in. So all I do is I pop that in there just to hold it in place. Hold it on. Get your 510 screw. Sorry guys, a little fiddly on camera. Right, so you can pull that one out. Just grip all three post holes with your thumb and your finger. Tighten that down nice and snug, because obviously it's not adjustable, it is purely holding the center post in, so you want that nice and tight so it's really pulling in against that insulating. Cool. And obviously replace your post screws, unless you want to keep those copper. You can just put your stainless steel one in and then change these copper ones out for the stainless steel ones. Alright guys, so that's just how you change your center post over. So I'll throw a build in this, show you your clearance, wick it up for you, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, so I've just thrown a quick dual 5-wrap Clapton build in here. Now this is just pre-made Clapton wire from UD, the 26 gauge but 32 gauge wrap. Now, what you want to do when you're building on this Doge X2 is make sure your coils sit in the juice well rather than just over the lip. Now, the reason for that is you don't actually get much clearance with the top cap, because the top cap's got quite a thick inner layer for the airflow, so it actually takes up the majority of that outer lip. So if your coil just sits just about in those juice wells, then you're going to have safe clearance. But if it's overlapping a wee bit, you may find it hits the side of the top cap where the airflow is. So yep, all wicked up, all coiled up, so I'll have juiced it up, we'll go back out and we'll talk about it. Lovely stuff. Alright guys, so we've just been up close with the Doge X2 by Congrevape. Now this is a lovely little RDA. I've enjoyed this. Now the post holes in this are lovely and big, so you don't have to mess around with real fiddly trying to get it through little holes, especially in the positive post where obviously you can only do dual coils in here, no single coil option. So when you're putting 2 wires in there, they just slide in there nicely. You don't have to fiddle around with tight little gaps. The screws in this are beasts, absolute beasts, and they're nice and deep, so you're not threading or mucking up your screws all the time. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Now the airflow on this is ridiculous. So hey, I'm going into pros and cons here. Now we'll just go into pros and cons. So cons for me, I can't build much in here. All right, so you know, it looks like there's quite a lot of room when you take the top cap off, but because of the way they've done the airflow, you can really only build within the juice well. And there's some RDAs out there that are for builders as such, you know, like the Twisted Messes, like the 13 Heavens, and all that lot, where as long as you've cleared the edge of the deck, you can still get the top cap on because it goes over it. But with this, because of the little mechanism in here, so all that sort of airflow mechanism, that's quite chunky. So you may look like you've got a lot of room, but really it takes up that space around the juice well. So as long as your coil is nice and centered within that juice well, you're not going to have a problem. But the reality is it's not sort of built for builders, it's built for cloud chasers. So, you know, your 5 wrap, your 6 wrap, 22, 24 gauges and such are going to fit in this nicely. But a con for some people, there's not a lot of build room in there. It can get quite hot, the top of this, but that's only because I vape quite high wattage on drippers. So I like a hot vape. So because it's all stainless steel, their chuff cap can get a bit hot and get a bit uncomfortable on the lips. It would have been nice for them to give you a Delrin drip tip option, just to remove that completely. I mean, they've given it a go by adding that little vortex hole to try and cool the vape as it's coming up, but it's not cooling the chuff cap as such. So a Delrin chuff cap would have been nice, but hey, if you guys just are not vaping hot, then it's going to be perfect. It's going to be fine, right? And the only other thing is, because the 510 pin it protrudes quite well, which is great for hybrids and everything, because it's not adjustable. You can get, I don't know if you can see that, but it doesn't fit flush on this mod. Like the 510, the spring-loaded 510 in this mod doesn't go down far enough for that protruding 510 pin, so it doesn't sit flush, and that sends my OCD crazy. But if that's not something that bothers you, then it's not a con. Like I said, these are my opinions, these are my subjective cons. All right, but other than that, it's a great little thing, great little cloud chucker, fantastic little cloud chucker. Again, another con, that you can't put your own drip tip on this, so you are just limited to the chuff cap, the cloud chuff cap, if you like. So you can't put like your normal drip tips in it, so it doesn't come with a drip tip adapter. So if you're a flavour chaser and you like that restricted draw so you can get all the flavour in, it's not going to be for you too much. I mean, you still get a lot of flavour out of this. It's all dependent on your build, really, when it comes to sort of cloud chasing RDAs. Like I said, I could fit Claptons in here, no problem. And yeah, it's a lovely little thing, to be honest. For clouds, it's fantastic. So we're going to the pros. The post holes in this just make building in this a lot easier. You're not having to fiddle around so much. The airflow in this is fantastic, right? And the different points of it, you can adjust per hole. Adjustment, fantastic. The build quality of it itself is brilliant. It's a nice stainless steel, nice finish. The laser engraving of the logo is wonderful. The screws, nice and chunky. They go right down, so be careful with your lower gauge wire because it will snip it, because it goes right down into the post holes. But as long as you're careful with that, that's fine. The screws are nicely rounded off, so it's not going to snip them. You're going to have to really crank it down before you break your wire. The fact that they give you the option for the copper positive post or stainless steel positive post, and you can change the screws to stainless steel as well. So if people don't like copper, they're not forcing you to use the copper. It just comes standard pre-built into that. But again, fantastic little device. It's nice and compact. There's not too many bits to pull off. You literally pull the chuff cap off, pull that off, and you can clean it. You know, there's no screwing, there's no faffing around. It all just pulls apart, which is brilliant. And the ease of changing that center post is fantastic as well. And the best thing of all is you've got a squared off socket for the positive post. Now, the likes of the El Cabron and stuff like that, which were normally my go-to for cloud chasing, was spinning because it was just circular straight through. So you were relying on how tight your 510 screw was in, and you were relying on it gripping on the peak insulator. With this, because it's square, it's never going to spin on you. Absolutely fantastic. I love that feature. Love it. All right. So like I said at the beginning of this video, I am giving this little bad boy away. Could be yours. All right. So all you've got to do to enter this giveaway, guys, is obviously subscribe to this channel and comment down below. Right? Comment anything. Right? If it's daft and it's you'd want it to just be a dick or a troll, you'll get deleted. You won't be in the competition anymore. This is just really, I want some feedback on these videos. As you can see, I haven't done many of them. I'm still learning. So feedback would be fantastic. What you'd like to see that you know is coming to New Zealand soon, that you want to know, or even stuff that's already here that I might be able to get my hands on that a lot of you are sort of unaware about. Even cotton or coils or anything that you guys want to see, just let me know. But just comment, subscribe, comment down below, and yeah, I'll leave that up for a week and I'll draw this in a week's time. Now I'm going to be out of Auckland, I'm going to be away on my holidays for Christmas, so I'll do that wherever I am at that point. But yeah, to win this little bad boy, guys, it's the exact one. So yes, it's been used, but it's been used for the purpose of this review and a couple of days beforehand. So it's not been battered and bruised. You get everything that it will come with. So yeah, subscribe, comment down below. In a week's time, I'll do the draw and this could be yours. All right, guys, so that's all I've got. Thanks for watching. I always appreciate it, and I'll catch you later. Frag out!